the link below. Everyone.
I belong to you. I belong to you.
I belong to
you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else.
Yeah. Let you down.
Take me to your heart.
I belong to you.
Take me to your soul.
I belong to
you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. And I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else.
Yeah. Let you down.
담담하게 넌 무뚝뚝한 말투로 미안하고 고마웠다 말하네. 이미 알고 있던 듯 고개 끄덕였지만 아직 잡은 손을 놓지는 못해. 울어버리면 현실이 될까봐
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another Sunday live stream. We are here on this beautiful Negril beach, as usual, every Sunday. And it is a beautiful one today. Really, really nice. We've been getting some really, really nice weather the last, I would say the last few weeks. Definitely this week has been good, except for the Morass fire and the ash coming down. That was not so cool. But more or less, the weather has been nice. It got a little choppy yesterday, but kind of calmed right down. It was choppy for like 2 days, but it was still nice and sunny, and we had like a really nice breeze. And it's a beautiful Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to everyone out there. I hope everybody is having a great, wonderful, long weekend. It is a very beautiful weekend here in Negril for sure, not just in terms of weather, but also in terms of people here who are enjoying their weekend or stay in Negril. Definitely have a lot to talk about. Welcome to those who are coming over from the premiere that we did with Mally Dixon from the Negril and Green Island Area Planning Authority, Local Planning Authority in Nagalpa. I know it's a mouthful, but it was and that's pretty much the first thing that I want to hop into once we get into the topics today is that video. And so want to, of course, start off with knowing where everybody's from. We have the Instagram group over here. Unfortunately, I think I can click over to see some of your comments. So if I see an Instagram comment, I will try to address it. But for the most part, I don't have it visually. I have to kind of keep going back and forth. But yeah, please let me know where you're chiming in from, what city, what state, what country. Always love to hear it. And I will give you back that beautiful beach view, and I'll throw myself up there in the corner. And you see, like, it's beautiful. Everybody's enjoying themselves. When I was driving into Travelers, there's like a lot of families on the beach, really from early this morning. And that's what we do here in Negril. At least that's what people come out here for, is to enjoy the beach, particularly on holidays and holiday weekends. So we got a packed one in terms of our schedule here today. So let's hop right into it. There's a lot I would like to cover today. And as you know, we have the International Real Estate Conference, Expo and Conference coming up in really almost 2 weeks in Montego Bay. And as you know, we are in partnership with each other. So I just want to continue to remind people about that conference and let people know that I will be a speaker at the conference, which I'm very excited to be a part of and very excited to do. And then also having a Throp-X booth there. Excuse me. Yeah, please listen to Ficus. Hit that like button. Definitely helps out a ton. Hello, Simone. A blessed Sunday to you as well. What's going on, Chelsea? Thanks for joining. Sherry Case. Good to see you. Chiming in from Florida. Happy Resurrection Day, she says. Lisa, good afternoon. Happy Easter to you as well. Hello, Vivian. Blessings on this Resurrection Sunday. Fab and good vibes. Good afternoon, Throp, and everyone shouting out from Dallas, Texas. Awesome. Mystical. Good afternoon, Throp family. Is that authentic vibe? Happy, blessed Easter all. Ficus asks, do you have stingrays in that beach? Yes, I actually did it. We did I got so lucky. This was maybe 4 months ago. Me and Christoph, who I work with, we were just like swimming, snorkeling, like out by a reef, and there was this beautiful eagle ray that essentially swam by us, and like we did our best to try and swim with it, and but it's on my Instagram. It was so amazing. That's the first time like that has ever happened. Usually like I kind of see them off in a distance, but to be that close to one of those things, it was very, very majestic. But we do have stingrays, and sometimes I feel like even on the stream there have been stingrays that kind of came up, and people on the beach saw it and were fascinated with it. Hey Shayna, good to see you. Happy Sunday to you as well. Jay Fitz, hi Throp and family, listening from Atlanta. Awesome. Chantel, happy Sunday to you as well. Hey Donna, good to see you. Happy Easter to you as well, Norma. Good afternoon, everyone. Sunshine in New York at long last. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Happy for you. What's going on, Michael? Good to see you. Happy Sunday, Sheree. Jeff asks, watch the issues with the Negril video. Years being at the end of the world can be tough. Yes, we are going to definitely hop into that as well. Jeff is talking about the emergency live stream podcast that I did yesterday, talking about some major challenges that we are facing here in Negril, which we'll also get into today as well, particularly the Morass fire, which I alluded to earlier, the lack of water, which we haven't had water in quite some time here in Negril. For some residents, and I wouldn't say not only residents, but just even businesses on the West End haven't had water for months, as a matter of fact, which is crazy. And we just talked about also, unfortunately, the deplorable condition that our town is in as far as cleanliness goes. So we'll hop into that. We'll recap that a little bit later in the show as well. What's going on, Michael? Good to see you. Good to see you. Say what up to Tamika if she's around. The social vibes, Grand Rising, y'all. Sending love from Arizona. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Kaylee, Alberta, Canada. I hate it here. Well, come on down to Jamaica. We're ready for you. Johnny chiming in from El Paso, Texas. Juarez, Mexico. Tuning in. Thank you for Throp Incorporated. Absolutely. Thanks for joining. Happy Easter to you, Corey. Chiming in from Mississauga, Ontario. Justin, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Oh, my cousin. What's going on, Tia? Tia is in South Korea. I hope you're well. You're probably the furthest person chiming in, furthest person away chiming in, Tia. Thank you so much. And coming in from South Korea, glad to make it. Glad to have you, cuz. Glad to have you. Denise Robinson, happy Easter all. Natural Yard chiming in from Boston, Medea. Good to have you. Shar Treehouse, happy Sunday to Throp and everyone. NYC is warming up. Lived in JA years ago. I'll be in Negril 2025. Can't wait. Awesome. Looking forward to having you. All right, so let's get into the first topic, which is the last video that was premiered with Molly Dixon from Nagalpa. We're just going to call it Nagalpa. And she had, like, I don't know how many people are coming over from that, but extremely, extremely informative, especially if you are a person that is looking to build, and most especially if you are a person that is looking to do some sort of development that is multifamily, like it could be a gated community, it could be an apartment building, it could be a small development like 7, 8, 10 units or something like that. She just gave so much insight into what the regulations are, because it's very different. Like this is very special and unique to this part of the island. I don't believe anywhere else in Jamaica has the equivalent of the Negril Green Island Planning Authority, Nagalpa, because of Negril's unique situation, because Negril spans across 2 parishes. And so they created a special government unit to deal with the development of Negril as it sits between these 2 parishes, and working with Nagalpa, the local planning authority, is crucial to the success or failure of whatever it is that you are looking to build or expand. And this body is extremely important to work hand in hand with. And even us here at Travelers, any type of upgrades or anything like that we're looking to do, and I know other hotels are doing that as well, you have to work with them. And as she stated in the video and in her presentation, it's something like this planning authority is it's not something to look at as oh, this is the man trying to keep me down, or this organization is holding me back from achieving my dreams. Not at all. It should be more so looked at as a partnership, because as she stated, you don't, in building your home or your development that you're doing, you cannot only think about yourself. It's so important that you think about your neighbors, you think about your community, how it's going to affect your community, how it's going to affect your neighbor, and is it relevant slash appropriate, whatever it is that you're trying to do for that area. And the one thing she kept harping on is that even before you decide to do whatever it is that you want, your dream is like build a home, to create a development, to do some sort of tourist attraction, it is crucial to understand the zoning of where you're looking to put said development or said construction project. And before you even get an architect or put the plans together, understand the zoning of where your land is or where that potential development is, because it could just be a full start or a non-starter, I should say, if you don't have that information, if you don't have that understanding. And then from there, of course, it's again the relevant appropriateness of that development for that area. And I'll give you a good example. This is outside of the planning authority, but this is kind of a little bit of extreme. At one point, we had sold our land across the street from Travelers, which is on the Morass side, which he had referred to a bunch of times. And then the folks that we sold the land to, they leased it to another gentleman, and it was a scary. I mean, we probably didn't have that land for a couple of years. It was a scary situation in that he was doing, I don't know what he was doing, but there was music coming from there. There was lights. It was like a bamboo fence. Even one point, Mr. Grizzle, he came up to me and he was like, "What is going on across the street from your hotel?" Because it just looked so dilapidated with the type of fencing that they were using. It looked terrible. And I was like, we no longer own that property, and I'm unsure what they're doing. And it basically hit me and my brother. It's just like, it's so important. And this was what motivated us to pursue repurchasing it. And what came to light was that like we wanted to hold our future in our hand in terms of who and what is around us, because we just started to think like, what happens if they decide to put a strip club across the street from our hotel? That would be horrific. Or even a regular club, just noise, crowds, people. It's gonna take so much away from our product and what we're trying to offer. It just completely polar opposite of a family-run, family-oriented business that prides itself on welcoming people from all over the world, all walks of life, but particularly focusing on families and having that family feeling. And to have an establishment of that situation, especially a strip club. I mean, not that it was a strip club, but I mean, we would just start using our imaginations. And so I think what I'm trying to say is it's like zoning regulations help to mitigate against the possibilities of a situation like that occurring. Imagine if you are, you bought into a residence and then they decide to put a landfill across the street and you're inside a gated community. I mean, that would be horrible. That would be horrible. And it's just like, that's why these regulations and zoning regulations are in place, like extremely, extremely important. And the other aspect of it, she brought up the example of, at the time there was we had an earthquake in Jamaica. I think it was mostly felt in Kingston. I think some people felt it here in Negril, like very like subtle tremor. And then, thank you. And she's making the point, and then she alluded to like some building collapsing on the eastern part of the island. And what they found out was that certain things weren't put in place, inspections weren't done, perhaps people were paid off, and they didn't go down the right path of protocol. And she's making the point how important it is to go through these planning authorities, because they're there for a reason. I feel like that there were lessons learned many, many years ago that we no longer need to learn again. And so having these regulatory bodies and oversight committees, if you will, in place protects you as a developer and protects you as a builder to ensure the safety and regulation of your building in a situation of a natural disaster, a hurricane, or God forbid a hurricane, but category 4 hurricane, God forbid, a really rough earthquake. We want to make sure that the buildings have the best chance possible in standing up and surviving that situation. So again, I look at it more so as a partnership than anything else. And they have, I would like to think they have the best interest of your project in mind, and also a greater interest of the community. And she was even saying that like there. So what's happening too is that there is a new development order that is coming online. Nobody has any idea. And she even said it when this is coming online. But essentially, it's looking like the density and height requirements are going to increase. So right now, if you're here on the Negril Beach, you can build up to 4 stories on the beach side. And I just want to make sure I'm going to bring up the map because that's what we do here. So on the Negril, on the beach side here, you can go 4 stories. On the Morass side, you can go only 2 stories. Hold on one sec. Sorry, we're bringing up the map. Okay, there we go. Map of Jamaica, right? I think. Yeah, map of Jamaica. All right, we're coming over here to Negril, west, and then this is the beach road. And okay, we're down here at Travelers. So this is how the beach is separated, if you will. Our Negril is the Negril Beach Road is separated. So we have the beach side here. Again, this is 4 stories that you can go up to, and then on the Morass side, you can only go 2 stories. So let me see. Travelers here. The only 4-story building that I know of is Royalton, and that's in Hanover. I feel like Sandals has 3 stories. They might have 4 stories in their new building. I'm unsure. It's 3 or 4 stories. I'm not sure. But we don't have a lot of them in Negril. And so what I'm saying is they're looking to change that order. Everybody's anticipating that you will be able to go higher. And I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but that is what the anticipation is. And it's really a preparation for what seems to be just a extremely high interest in Negril and investing here. And that's both on the commercial investment and also on the residential investment. And this kind of gets into our discussion that we were having yesterday, which we'll get in deeper, because the Negril population, I have to look at the census. I know we talked about this before. I don't know where we're at, but the Negril population has significantly increased, in even from when I moved here 18 years ago to where we are now. I don't know how much it increased, but there is a significant increase in population. And when I say population, residents who are living here, there is, if you take it out to the Negril Green Island area, there is a significant increase in hotel rooms from when I first moved here to now. And that is looking like that is going to almost, I can't say double. I wouldn't say double, but there is a significant increase. I mean, it's got to be like, a 20% or so increase in hotel rooms if I were to just kind of doing the math off the top of my head, which is significant. And I see Dosey Dose bringing up a great point as I talk about this. It's like the infrastructure investment is needed like yesterday. And I do believe that the authorities understand this. And we have a lot, and this is a big discussion, part of the discussion yesterday, is that we have a lot of cart before the horse situation. So you look at the, hats off, salute to the Minister of Tourism. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's doing his job. He's getting tons and tons of people like never before coming into Jamaica from all over the world. Right? That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. However, he is outpacing the ability for us as a country to adequately and efficiently handle that. And what does that mean and what does that look like? We look at our road networks. We have severe, and I'm specifically talking about Negril to Montego Bay. We have severe bottlenecks. We are in a drought right now, and we don't have efficient water supply. We have trucks driving up and down all day, all night. You even say, going back to our conversation yesterday, we have inefficient, arguably ineffective garbage collection happening in this. So like there's a lot of fundamental things that are not being taken care of, like the road, as far as the maintenance of the roads is just like not there in Negril. It's just not there. This plain and simple. So again, that's what I mean with the analogy of like where we have a multitude of cart before the horse situations, and it's not, I'm not to say, and it's not to say like, look, we need to tell the Minister of Tourism to stop marketing Jamaica, stop telling people to come. Like, not at all. It's more so we need to push the powers that be to get the infrastructure in place as quick and as soon as possible. And I'm on here, as you all know, as it's advocating like crazy for Jamaica, and like we are doing so exceptionally well in so many areas. The interest, the demand for living here, moving here, investing here is out of this world, unlike ever before in the history of Jamaica. It's hard to argue otherwise, right? And same with Negril. I think there's this like incredible potential here, and I do honestly believe that we are going to reach that potential, and it is still a phenomenal, great time when you look at the broader perspective of where we are in history and where Negril is and where we have to go and all these things that we need to put in place. It's a phenomenal time to invest here. But there is a teething process that we have to go through. And I think the discussion yesterday was part of that teething process. And it's not, even though I believe these things are going to happen and have to happen, I do believe they are in discussion. I do believe that people are aware of it, but the sense of urgency is what we are lacking here. Also, there is a lack of communication as well and understanding what the plan is, where are we, how are we moving forward, sort of thing. So that is, I would say, the essence of the basis of the conversation that we had yesterday. And as we kind of bring it back to the planning authority, it all plays together. All plays together. And as Molly was saying in her presentation, that the submissions that her office is getting, it seems like it's a lot. And this is in November of 2023. So a few months ago, this was filmed, and it's still relevant now. And I bet you there is an increase in submissions that her office has seen because the interest of investing in Negril and the wider area only continues to grow. And so at the end of the day, I just would, for those who are considering investing and doing especially developments, one, I will say they are so needed. So needed, especially on the residential side. We are lacking in that. I always say that we are lacking in middle income housing, even affordable housing too. Like those are the two things that we are lacking in like crazy. So I'll say two things on that. On the affordable housing aspect, you have the majority, and like I feel like we need to think more strategically about this as a community, right? The majority of people who work in Negril and work for the leading industry that we have in this town, in this country, tourism and hotels, the majority of people live outside of Negril. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, how can we get more people to either live in Negril or live closer to Negril? And to me, it's building those units, right? Because we want to keep, and I think I gave this analogy like last week or the week before, but what can we do to keep the dollars in here? What can we do to keep the dollars in the Negril community, right? And so if I have, one of our wait staff here, they're going back to their home and they're doing their grocery shopping there. If they have kids, they're doing their, like, everything that they're doing of microeconomic activity that's happening, they're doing it in their communities, which is great for their communities. But I would love for it to like stay in the Negril area. And to me, that's all. And then also even on the entertainment side of going out to eat, of we only have one club here, but going to the club, that sort of thing. And like that's kind of where my mind goes. And it's also going to save them money, right? It's going to save them money in taxi fare. It's going to save them money moving around. And Amali made a great point about building these 15-minute developments, or these 15-minute cities where you live in Negril or a community, and anything that you need is within 15 minutes away, right? So your grocery store, your kids' schools, your playgrounds, your community center, community activities, all of that is within 15 minutes, right? And so, Negril is on the brink of that, and in many ways, it is that. No, maybe not. It's not that. I mean, we're far from that. I mean, because like when we think about like entertainment and things of that nature, we're lacking tremendously. Park, we don't even have that. Yeah, so we're a little ways away from that. Yeah, I have to take that back, unfortunately. But yeah, she makes a lot of great points as throughout her presentation. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely encourage you to go and take a look. It's just such a, I mean, it's going to school, it's going to class, and she really just breaks it down. And shout outs to Nagalpa, shout outs to Molly Dixon for doing that and being part of Throp-X. Let's hop into the comments, and if you want, we'll get back into the presentation. Coach Donnie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation. Yes, you do a great job advocating for Jamaica. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will continue to do so the best way I can, as much as I can. Yeah, you all been seeing a lot of me lately with the Pinnacle last week. We did a live stream yesterday, live stream Thursday with the Real Estate Association of Jamaica. That was also a great one. I know I'm jumping around here. We did a live stream with Mr. Nixon. He is the president of the Real Estate Association of Jamaica. And we got into, like, you guys ask great questions, like, and I really, really appreciate that about this community. And I love when you get really specific and granular about your particular situation. And I think that's so important because I feel like there are other people who have the same or similar inquiries or questions that they would like to get answered. But for those of you who participate when we have guests on, I could really appreciate it. And Ms. Nixon was very open to answering those questions directly. And if you want to learn about the Real Estate Association of Jamaica, I think that is a really good it's a really good discussion. And he's very frank, he's very straightforward. I'm going to see if I can go ahead and put that. I got it right here. Yeah, he's very frank and straightforward. He's also going to be at the International Real Estate Expo and Conference in Montego Bay next month. So that's April. I don't think I mentioned the date. So that's April 18th, April 20th at the Montego Bay Convention Center. Like I said, I'm going to be there. The entire Throp Media team is going to be there as well. And I know many of you already told me that you're going. So I'm very, very much looking forward to meeting you all. Hopefully having a little chat as well. And then I'll also be speaking at making a presentation at their keynote speech. So I'm looking forward to that and being a part of it. All right, let's hop into some of these comments here. Where are we? Okay, this one is, what's up, King Naldo? Good to see you. Checking in from Maryland. All right, Johnny Johnson says, Jay hasn't capitalized on ganja as a cash crop production taxation like U.S. states like Canada, New Mexico, Colorado, billions of dollars in revenue for infrastructure development, housing. Why? Good question. This came on to great question, Johnny. This came into play like 2015, 2016, and I was very much involved in the implementation rollout of this on a multitude of fronts, right? And so ganja, marijuana has become decriminalized in Jamaica. Just trying to remember the laws off the top of my head. So you can carry up to 2 ounces on you. You're allowed to grow up to 5 plants per household. And then there are about 5 different industries, if you will. The best place to go to learn about this is the, oh my gosh, I used to know this stuff off the back of my hand, but I can't remember. But there's a regulatory body, if somebody can help me with that, that you can go to. And there's a few different types of licenses that you can get. There's like transportation, cultivation, which is like R&D. There's retail, yada yada. I can't remember all 5, but there are 5 different ways that you can get in this industry and be a part of it. So you don't have to directly be a grower and seller, right? And one of the great, I think, to me personally, one of the greatest things and aspects about this body and this new opportunity is that it has to be own partial ownership. I believe it's 50 or 51% by a Jamaican, and I think that's great. And I could tell you again, back from my own personal experience and being a part of this and this rollout, is that there was like so much interest, international interest. Like it was like almost every week we were getting calls and also physical meetings. People like literally just popping, complete strangers popping up at Travelers, wanting to meet with us, don't know us from Adam, and wanting to know if we wanted to get in business with them in the marijuana industry. And it was mostly people from, like Johnny mentioned, mostly people from Canada and mostly people from Colorado. And I don't know if people are aware, Westmoreland is considered the ganja capital of Jamaica. So much so that High Times, if I don't know if you know High Times magazine, very popular marijuana magazine or magazine in general, but High Times and again, I'm forgetting the names of these organizations, but it's a local. Somebody can help me out with this. Basically, a local Rasta group, Ross IV, who's the head of it. Great, I got to get him on here. Amazing elder. Learned so much from this guy. Amazing guy. But they put on this festival in Negril. They did it 2 years in a row. I was again very involved at that point in the chamber, the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association as well. And they put on 2 successful events, at least that I'm aware of. I believe they went on, but I haven't been really paying so much attention to. But there was this big, huge buzz, like all this money. Even at the time, the Negro Chamber of Commerce, we had our annual Christmas party. Our keynote speaker was like, I don't even know who he was, but he was like high in the marijuana world in Colorado, and we flew him out here, and he came and gave, or maybe he came on his own budget, I don't know, but he was a keynote speaker. And basically, to your point, Johnny, everybody around us, everybody in the outside world knew we were sitting on gold. I think they continue to know that we are sitting on gold. And it has just been such a slow rollout. It really, really has. I don't think it has stopped. There are retail locations. I believe Kuya Yard is one of the, at least that's the one that I see a lot. We have one here. We have a couple here in Negril. We have Hito Wito, which is at Hedonism. There is the Soap Factory. There is Doc's Place on the West End. And so there are retail locations, but to your point, it like hasn't exploded. And the name, affiliation with Jamaica and marijuana, my goodness. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. It's just top of the line. As far as why it has taken so long, and why we haven't turned this green into gold, I'm unsure, but I think it's something that we need to continue to look at and stay on top of. And perhaps I need to get somebody on here. And I know I've been wanting to get Ross IV on here forever. So thank you for that. I'm going to get him on here. He's wonderful guy. Like, man, just so intelligent is not the right word. It's just like enlightening, wise and you'll see when I get him on here, and I know he's open to it as well. So, yeah, we'll get that. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny, finishing up your point here, Johnny. Jay is blessed with 3 growing seasons plus a 4th with indoor growing. Grand Jamaica Ganja is top notch. Agreed. Alfonso Worth says, Throp, what's up? Really enjoyed that piece on the Pinnacle. Great job. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Natalie Holmes says, good afternoon. Give the chat a like, please. Yes, please. That would help out a lot. I would appreciate that. Kevin Barrett says, hi, Throp. Greetings from Central Florida. Thanks for the love yesterday with some of the members of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. Absolutely. We're going to get into that shortly, probably in the next 10 or 15 minutes, or 15 or 20 minutes, sorry. Let's see what else we got here. Coach Donnie, this is so informative. Thank you. Looking to invest in the near future. Awesome. And thank you again, Donnie, for your donation. Justin says the big hotels on the east side of Norman Bailey Boulevard are not worried about water. Yeah, there's like some I can't even say it, and I that and this is what happens when there's like no information and communication. Like there are these off kilter rumors as to why this is happening, and everybody has a theory, but we just can't talk about it because they're just rumors. But this is also part of why I thought it was important to have the discussion that we had yesterday with these 3 or 4 leaders, I'm sorry, in the Negril community, so they can bring their facts to the table, and then we can have a better understanding and better discussion. There are just so many people that are even like we consider ourselves to be in the dark, but there are people who are even in a darker area that have no idea what's going on. And so I think part of the discussion yesterday was putting out the information that we do have as leaders in the community, so at least there is some semblance of baseline understanding of what's going on, especially from the local resident standpoint. And so yeah, I'm just gonna I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. To Princess, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Justin says Jamaica has so many freshwater springs they sell to the cruise ships. So that's what came up yesterday too, right? And I thought that was like the backhanded disrespect of all this, right? Is that I understand it's a business. I understand it's a business. It's bringing in is bringing in money. It's bringing in commerce for Jamaica, and that is like we are the premier destination for cruise ships to come and fill up their water, right? Jamaica, land of wood and water, and so it's just so crazy that things are put in place that I guarantee that they don't miss their water refill, right? And so we're here, and there are residents on the West End that haven't had water for literally months, and we can't get them water. And so we kind of came up with like some short-term solutions, right? We don't want to sit there and complain and without coming up with some ideas about what we can do. And to me, that is one of the fixes that we can do. Mr. Grizzle came up with the idea. I thought it was a phenomenal idea. Is like get the residents water, and he's like, they should do it for free. The government, and I don't think that's a bad idea at all. So I think, if we can get the cruise ship some water, I think we can get some people here on the West End to grow some water, at least to just alleviate them from the months that they've gone without water. Kingston Connect says the road need development and good sidewalk. Agreed. We didn't talk about the roads yesterday. We were just caught up in everything else. That was the other thing that we wanted to talk about, was just how bad the roads are, and just at least I'm not seeing any plan in place, or I don't understand any plan in place to do the roads. Matt Train says when a corrupt government that will not invest in water infrastructure, this is the outcome. I'm not gonna totally agree with that statement. Whether governments are corrupt or not, I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that. But there is investment being made in water infrastructure, over the years. Where it is on this side of the island, I have no idea. And this again speaks to the lack of communication. It's like very, very, very poor communication. And we're not going to, I consider ourselves to be reasonable people, and I think we've been extremely patient up until this point. And I think just getting a basic understanding of why are we here where we are, and I'm really asking that to come from a person of authority to tell us and not allow us to make assumptions. And then also, what is the plan to move forward? And I don't think that is too much to ask. And whatever the situation is, we're going to understand, unless it's like something crazy, right? Unless it's something crazy that is not understandable. But for the most part, and what we understand, it seems to be a natural phenomenon, or it could be a bad decision. Who knows? But we don't know. So we have to guess and we have to speculate because we don't have any information. Jeff from Edmonton will be there in 2 weeks. A good mix, 4 beach, 8 other side. After infrastructure and transport improvements. Also, a new construction must have solar and water attachment. Yeah, so great point, Jeff. That's what Mr. Grizzle was saying yesterday. That new development should be required to have some sort of water catchment system. I think the solar is a great idea. Obviously, this is going to increase the cost of construction, but I think in the long run, it's going to be better for everybody. It's going to be better for the community. It's going to be better for Mother Earth. True Princess says, "Can someone please clear up where Throp's Hotel is located? I was debating what parish with my mom." Oh, sorry about that. Everybody keeps asking that. We're located in Westmoreland, in Negril, on the beach road, and on the beach, as you can see. Travelers Beach Resort. Let me put up. Let me see if I can put up a banner. There we go. That's the website. Johnny Johnson says, "I used to frequent a grill in 1975, minibus from Kingston or train from Darling, St. Thomas Mobay, then minibus to Negril. I used to stay at Perth Severance House, 7 Mile Beach, and looks the same. Best in the world." Justin said, "Infrastructure development is full of corruption. If West End people want their water and garbage picked up, they need to figure out who they need to bribe." I would like to think, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I would like to think we are moving towards a society where that doesn't happen. Because, we were talking about yesterday with the garbage situations, like people's garbage, they were saying people's garbage gets picked up by those who pay the garbage trucks, right? But you're already paying taxes. And so, I mean, I'm not going to rehash that, but my point is like, I would love to be think that we're moving in the direction where either that does not exist or at least that is not the norm, right? And we're moving to a more above table society than anything else. Susan Gordon says, "I don't believe the buildings in the grill should be higher than 3 to 4 stories. It is unsafe to make them any higher." I think they're going to go higher, that at least from what I'm hearing, and we need to prepare ourselves accordingly. So, because like, if you look at, we just need to prepare ourselves accordingly. I'll leave it at that. Susan Gordon says, "Yes, residential housing is a definite need that needs to be filled in the grill." Yep, definitely. Sorry, a lot of comments came in. Sorry, I'm gonna just kind of breeze through this quickly. Vivian says, "Throp, you're an awesome advocate for Jamaica. Thanks so much. Sweet Feather, good afternoon, Throp and everyone. Love this line of thinking. Jamaican owned and hashtag Jamaican owned and operated. That's what JOA stands for." Alyssa Clark, "I love my country, man. Jamaica, US. Awesome." Titus, "Hello, Throp. We'll be in the grill on the 13th of April. Awesome. I will be here. I will definitely be here. Dosey Dose, "Mr. Hogg wanted to build a new town on his property to be self-sufficient, including church and clinic." Yeah, great point, great memory. So almost when I first moved down to Jamaica, and let's get to show everybody what you're talking about. So Dosey Dose is talking about Hog Haven here in Negril. So this is deep West End. So let me just give everybody an idea of where we are. So this is the beach road, as you can see here. This is the 7-mile stretch of beach. And then we're going to move downtown. So this is the Negril roundabout here. And then we're going to go West End. So let's zoom in a little bit. Hopefully you can see this. So we got Popeye's Chicken. We got Riverside Pharmacy, Burger King, Scotiabank is over here. Negril Aqueducts is up here. And then this is Corner Bar, very good spot to eat some local food at, I would think, very reasonable price. And then moving along West End Road, we got Quality Traders. All right, I'm not going to go through everything, but you get the idea. We're going to West End here. I'll name a few. We got Patsy's Coffee Shop. I did a live stream from there, and not a live stream. I did a podcast from there, and I think I did a live stream there too, actually. Let's keep going west and keep going west. Keep going west, and we got Rock House here. And basically, we're starting to head south. So still West End. So here, let's see where I can say. This is Rick's Cafe. Everybody knows Rick's Cafe. This is Murphy's. So here, where's the turnoff? Okay, so here is basically where we it turns into deep West End. So this is deep West End here. This is the Cliff Hotel Jamaica. Beautiful property. I will say this is like the most beautiful property in Negril. Deep West End. Love that property. Great restaurant as well. And going along Deep West End. And I don't know where officially Hogs Heaven begins, but I know it starts here. I know this is part of it. So this is owned by the Hogs, this land here, and I don't know where it ends, but this is, so here's West Ender Inn. So this is all Hog Haven back here. I don't know. It's hundreds of acres from what I've been told, and this is owned by one family. My family owns a small lot up here, as a matter of fact. Don't have anything on it, but they were supposed to turn this into this mega development. So I believe it was, and I don't remember the guy's name, but I clearly have his face in my head. If I saw him on the street, I'd be able to say hello and recognize him. It was an English development company, I believe. At least the head guy was from England, from the UK. And they were supposed to build like this huge development with like hotel, fire station, church, grocery store, residence. And it was all happening deep West End here. And this was going to change Negril. This was the original new Negril that was coming and was happening. And we went to I remember I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was 22 at the time, going to these town hall meetings, trying to understand how Jamaica works. And I remember going to these meetings, and there was just this Negril. And let me put this into context a little bit here. At the time, Negril was very much divided between the Bloods and the Crips, or West End and Beach Road, more commonly known. And it was literally like West End versus the Beach Road. And I came into this, could not understand this. And it was such this battle of we deserve this, we deserve that. And I'm my whole mindset is we are one community, we are one Negril, and it should never be that. But understanding the history of, and I know I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole here, understanding the history of how Negril was developed, Negril actually started on the West End. And so what happened in 60, 70 is you had the hippies come to Negril, they pitched their tents on the West End, and then they came down to the beach during the day, and then they slept on the West End. And then slowly the West End was developed, accommodations, homes. People were inviting guests to stay in their homes. And again, that's how Negril kind of got started in tourism and hospitality. It was Negril as a fishing village. And what ended up happening was that the beach became more developed, and more attention was being focused on the beach. And then the beach became where people were going to, and it kind of flipped. And so what happened was there's this rivalry that was started. And so fast forwarded to this situation where this big development was coming to the West End Negril. It was just I remember being in these meetings, and people were just saying, we need this, we need that. And just I remember the guy being very receptive to some of these ideas and very inclusive. And I was like, man, this is going to be crazy. I can't believe I live here and this stuff is happening. And so, but what ended up happening, as you probably can figure out, is a financial crisis, and everything just fell apart. Their marketing was crazy. They had all these beautiful pamphlets and renditions, and I remember that. And again, going to these presentations. And anyway, it fell apart. And again, this is where it was supposed to be, deep West End, Hog Heaven. But I still think this is a great location to invest in. Here's Jackie's on the Reef. I was there the other day. I always say what's happening here too now. This is somewhere west. I feel like I should play this video. I'll play this video in a second. Kind of give me a break to get a drink of water too. This is a beautiful hotel, guest house, I guess you can call it. It's owned by my friend Angela, and next to it is Ripple, which is I haven't been inside, but I've seen pictures and videos online. It looks beautiful, and there were like a lot of these little villas popping up. There's a few. Oh no, I don't think it's updated, but there's oh yeah, here's one. There's a few like bits of construction that's happening, and this is seemingly being bought up. This road, this strip here, being bought up and turning into villas. And so like I was like, man, this could also be like Villa Row of Negril, right? I'm gonna show you Angela's place real quick, kind of give you an idea of the area. Hopefully I still have it on my computer. If not, we're gonna just keep going. Man, I guess I don't have it. Oh no, I got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just give you an idea about Angela's place. 1 second. On the west end of Negril, at a very beautiful property that is for sale. It's actually my friend's place, a good friend of mine, and she's selling it. And we're going to be doing a feature on it on my YouTube channel. And I just want to show you guys around a little bit before we do the shoot. What could be yours? ChatGPT right there. Beautiful views here. Let's go out to the pool. It doesn't have any water in it right now. This is a saltwater pool. Yeah, they're gonna fill it up for the shoot that we're gonna be doing soon. I don't know if you can see that. Pretty nice views of the coastline. Let's go up. Let me show you some of the views from upstairs and some of the rooms. All right. Remember these? Not too shabby. Imagine waking up to this every day or going to sleep to this every night. So beautiful, like naturally, you don't even need to do anything. If I had the money, I would buy it. Like this is heaven. And the neighborhood is really awesome as well. But yeah, we're gonna be doing the shoot in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. And gonna be working directly with my friend, the owner, on getting this up on the channel. And really excited and proud to be a part of this project. Yeah, so that's somewhere west, deep west end here. And that's for sale. That's right next to Ripple. So that's still for sale. If anybody's interested, let me know. I can send you the contact information of Morass, who's the realtor selling it. Let me see if I have any questions on that. Okay, cool. Tisha, other than I think this is a great question, great point. Other than the West End, there isn't too much space directly in Negril for residential development, is there? In the surrounding areas, maybe. Yeah. So I think you're going to have to go to, and I like, good opportunity to bring up the map again. And I'm not saying like this is it. Like, so it's, deep West End, there's a lot of land here. You can see like a lot of green. So there's room there in a sense, and in Hog Haven, they were about to build like another city here, so there's obviously enough room. But then, let's move back here, like Beach Road, not a lot. And keep in mind that this whole area, this is the Great Morass. This is all protected. This is all an incredibly important part of the very delicate ecosystem of Negril. And it contributes to why our water is so beautiful, why our sand is so white. And it's very, very important to maintain this thing. So that can't be used. But Hey, what about, I don't even know the topography of Orange Bay here, but this is also a little residence here, a little bit outside of Negril. But yeah, you'd have to move to Orange Bay, Green Island. Even Molly was saying that in her presentation was that you're seeing a lot of ancillary businesses and also residents coming up. And keep in mind too that it has been like there are a lot of hotels coming up along this. So Princess Hotel, what would I say, 15, 20 minutes from Negril proper and at least the northern part of Negril, let's say. And along that, I heard, and I can't even say heard, people like there's an 800 room hotel and 1,000 room hotel that is happening between Princess, which is Princess, which is a 2,000 room hotel, the largest hotel in all of Jamaica. So in between hotel and an 800 room hotel that is going higher area is going to develop like crazy, like crazy, like crazy. So just keep that in mind. So there will need to be residents there as well. People, I mean, I guess this is a little bit better, going to Lucy, but it's not like there's a outside of Ocean Point, that is, it's not like there's an affordable housing development. And Ocean Point is not an affordable housing development, but it's not like that there is a large affordable housing development that is screaming for people to move into in Lucy. I think they are building one, as a matter of fact. I understand by the Green Island, this road by the Green Island police station. Haven't been there, but the need is there. I mean, we're talking about thousands of homes are needed for like all of these workers that we don't have. And what I mean by that is like we have a shortage of construction workers, of workers in general, but particularly construction workers. That is seemingly we do not have an answer for, at least in this part of the island. But yeah, good point. Let's move to the south here. To your point, Tisha, as we go, where am I? Kind of got myself lost. So here we're back down to downtown Negril. And so as we go to on Nampro Road and we move towards Little London Sav, like this is where I think that some of these developments could be even just slightly, it doesn't necessarily have to go down these lanes, but even slightly off of the main road in Sheffield, Little London, Springfield, but closer than Sav. We want to stay away from the 45-minute commute, but could it be 15 minutes? I think so. All right, let's keep going with the comments here. Thank you for that, Tish. Appreciate it. Where am I? Gregory Mitchell says, "How can the ordinary man benefit from all that's being suggested?" I mean, I think several ways. I'm like I said before, with like these projects, like there are a lot of jobs that are needed, and what I understand is that there are workers that are being imported because we can't find the labor that we need here on island. So there's that aspect, which is directly. I think there are so many entrepreneurial aspects, and it also depends by like what you mean by the ordinary man or the ordinary person, right? And if you look at somebody who is, say, selling a vendor on the beach who are selling fruits, it's like more customers for them because more people are coming in. I think that there are going to be a lot of opportunities for small businesses that support this. Mechanics, auto body shops, entertainment, restaurants. And this doesn't have to be like these large scale investments. Airbnb, I think that's a business, especially if you are, and I'm specifically thinking of people who have residence in the Red Grounds and White Halls. Like people have and these are not the best areas in the grill. I'll just bring it up here. But I know that they are benefiting from what's happening. So we're downtown. Where's Fire Station Road? Sorry. We're downtown. Hammond's Bakery. So if you go up, this is the Whitehall area here. Not the best neighborhoods, but you got Airbnbs there. A lot of Airbnbs. And so, those folks are being brought into the formal economy like never before. And same thing with Red Ground. And so I think there's a lot of economic activity that's going to come off of this. I think there's going to be a lot of need for these support businesses. Molly Dixon was also alluding to a lot of farms that are being land that are being invested and converted into farmland in the Negril Green Island area, because all of these hotels that are coming on board, they're going to need fruits, they're going to need produce, they're going to need all these things, delivery trucks, like all these things are going to be needed. So there's going to be so many, I think, a lot of opportunity for support businesses to support these hotels. So I think entire industries are going to be created in this area that don't necessarily, not that they don't exist, but they are not here in a large way. So I think so many, like, the farmers are going to benefit from this. I think small and medium-sized entrepreneurs are going to benefit from this as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there. Kevin Barrett says, Throp, nice job moderating the live stream yesterday. Saturday, balanced and fair. You did not choose a party side. You just presented what Negril basically needed. Good job. Thank you. And that's kind of my approach with a lot of this stuff. Johnny Johnson says, has the reef in Negril been maintained, or has the government let it turn gray because it was world class in 1975? From what I understand with divers, it's not looking the best. And I'm actually going to be getting that's one of my planned pieces of content is to get PADI certified. So looking to do that in we're in April. No, in May, sorry. And we're looking to do that in May, as a matter of fact, so I can have a better visual understanding of the health of the reef. But from what I understand, it's not looking the best and probably nowhere near the health that it was in 1975. Throw up the link for the Real Estate Expo conference. Thank you. I will do that. Right there. So the link there is irec.realtorsjamaica.org. Sweet Feather says, Fox, have you been to Okay, talking about, sorry, different conversation. Andrew, happy Easter to you. Spring is my favorite season, and it's very spring-like today. Awesome. Happy to hear. Lisa Marie, good to see you. Chiming in from Connecticut. Gregory Mitchell says, apart from smoking, it has a lot of medicinal benefit and also great when incorporated in food. Talking about marijuana. Two Princess says, great thumbnail, Throp. I thought I was going to see you all on the beach. Sorry, not this time. That picture is actually from my birthday party, my 40-year-old birthday party. And a few weeks ago, earlier this month, but we made a video that needs to be edited and will be released. So I can't wait to do that video. Actually, it was great, a lot of fun for sure. But I also use it as an opportunity to showcase so many young entrepreneurs in Jamaica, at least there on this side of the island, that are thriving, doing so well. And I think it was just so important to highlight what they're doing and the world-class businesses that they have. So looking forward to putting that out. But glad I got you with the thumbnail. Oh, thank you, Susan. The CLA, the Cannabis Licensing Authority, that was the organization that I was looking for. I couldn't remember that regulates the marijuana industry here in Jamaica. Sweet Feather says it showed 100% by Jamaicans, especially the Arawak, Caribbean, Taino, because of their part of our spiritual culture and healthcare aside from the Rasta narrative. Andrew Max says, when I was a boy growing up on the island, I remember ever so often the Popo used to destroy the ganja fields being grown. So sad they didn't see the potential then. Justin says back in the 90s, police would fine you a nanny for ganja. If you were a foreigner, they wanted 500 US or Canadian or pounds. I remember that matter. That's crazy. That's crazy. Justin says you can buy herbs anywhere, but the quality, that's a different story, and no one paying tax on that. Crypto King says, hey, Throp, what advice would you give to locals that want to invest into Negril? I mean, I'd say it depends on how you want to invest. So I'm going to interpret that question in two ways. So I feel like you can invest in Negril in terms of a business and starting a business here, because there are so much. I think there's so much opportunity for different types of businesses here. There's such a great need for different types of business here. A lot of them I mentioned earlier. And then you can also invest in real estate, and real estate could be a villa. Real estate could be a 5-unit development. You know, I talk about a housing need that Negril has, like, and you ask around, and I would encourage you to do your own research, right? And use other YouTubers, talk to people who live here in Negril, talk to people who have businesses here, talk to people about like where their team and staff live, talk about people who vacation here long term, especially who try to spend months here, and how difficult it is to find a room or a location to stay here during the winter because we don't have enough inventory here. So I think like those are great to consider and to look into, because the demand is so high and the supply is so low. Andrew Mack says, I heard the PM on TV a few weeks ago basically giving Jamaicans the choice between water or roads. Hashtag prosperity. I didn't hear that one. KJ Martin says, listen to your combo yesterday. It seems like everyone forgets that Negril is not the only place with these issues, and the government has to make choices on who to serve in a given year. Then tell us that. Then tell us, Negril, sorry, you're not getting water for the next 3 months because we got to give it to Montego Bay. If that's the situation, tell us that. Just keep it real with us. Don't keep us in the dark. Do I necessarily agree with that? No, especially when there are cruise ships coming in and filling their tanks with our country's water. So I have no problem with if that's the situation. What I am most frustrated with, and I think most people are frustrated with, is the lack of communication. I mean, and now people are jumping to conclusions about different things that I don't even want to get into, but this is what happens when you don't tell people what's going on. So, yeah, I understand that sacrifices might need to be made. Somebody said like, hey, we got to make a choice between water and road. I mean, that's a crazy situation. I would choose water 10 times out of 10. Period. But I don't think that is the real situation here. At least, again, I can only assume, I can only speculate because I've been given very, very limited information. So, and what was also concluded, like, this is not a money situation. You know what I'm saying? It's not a money situation. Like, we're coming off of the 2 highest performing months in tourism history, with February and January. Revenue's coming in. How it's being allocated? Is it being done in a smart way? I don't know. I can't tell you yay or nay, but I can tell you that there are people on the West End who haven't had water for months, and we don't know why, at least directly. We have assumptions. KJ Martin also says, have you guys have any consultation on the Spark program for Negril roads yet? I am unaware. Maybe the chamber has, but not to my knowledge. M. Graham says, artillery facilities worldwide, largest ganja producer share price was 147. Now it's 247. The market is simply not there. The demand is simply not what was expected. This is a lesson. I'll be aware. Interesting. I didn't know that. Thanks for that information. Sorry, I am falling back on on comments here. For Eva, how much how much water storage does your hotel have? I don't know. Should I know this? Thousands upon thousands of gallons. I could tell you that, and we're like continuing to expand. And I know every hotel is. Every hotel is continuing to expand their water storage situation. As stated in our discussion yesterday, there are hotels looking to buy water trucks next year, which is crazy. We're hotels, we're not in the water supply business, but can't blame them. He says, thought the garbage men make minimum wage, so I can't even blame them for asking for extra. It's annoying, but until the government raises the salaries, these dudes gotta hustle, to be honest. I mean, that's a management, situation. And I've said this, and we as hoteliers, we have said this many times, is that we are willing to pay more for our garbage collection, for it to be done on a more regular basis. Because it's just not worth it. It's not worth having like a dirty, nasty town. This is a logistics problem. This is a problem that there just needs to be somebody who sits down, is like, hey, this is the problem. This is how we work it out. And like, these are the adjustments that we're going to make in the distribution of the limited resources that we have. And, that to me is what needs to happen. I mean, I'm clearly oversimplifying it, but as Mr. Grizzle said yesterday on the stream, it's like, it's one of the lowest hanging fruits that we can solve. Like, let's clean up the town. Sorry, I'm going to skip over some people who have already commented, just so I can get some new people. I'm trying to catch up with a few comments, and get people I haven't heard from. Shanna, yesterday on the live stream, I mentioned that Jamaica needs to have a campaign for recycling center / program to incentivize the citizens via cash and picking bottles for recycling. I totally agree. I think somebody even made a proposal, if I'm not mistaken, to double the amount of. I could be conflating this with the US. I feel like I am. But yeah, agreed. I think the incentives for recycling should be much, much higher. And I think that will help tremendously with the trash problem. And, if like people understand, like they're literally throwing money out the window when they're in a taxi and they throw a bag out the window with bottles in it. I agree. I think that's a great idea. Sweet Feather says West End was the original Negril back in the day. That's right. Suzette, excuse me. Happy Easter Sunday to you as well. Betsy Mason says hemp is a great fiber fuel and food in addition to the actual ganja. This is a gold mine. Anyway, you look at it. Shanna laughing at my Bloods and Crips analogy. MDL, what's going on? Hi, Throp and Throp is chiming in from Washington, D.C. area. Happy Easter, everyone. Same to you. What's going on, Beatrice? Thanks for joining. Fike is asking I'm assuming the asking price for Angela's place. Oh man, let's look it up. Yeah, let's see. Let's look it up. I want to say, I feel like it's 1.8. Let's see if I could find it real quick. I feel like it's 1.8. But you can I'm gonna put in Mora's contact information.
Artless creators. Want to share your
Sorry about that. I'm gonna put in Mora's contact information. I'm gonna throw it in the chat. So feel free to reach out to her about Somewhere West. Let her know that I sent you, and she'll help you out. J Fit says, why are villas being built in the deep West End and there are severe water shortages? Does the water shortage not impact the area? So the thing with the West End is that so many people, I think the people around there have just gotten so used to, especially deep West End, just so used to not having water come in there, and so they're used to trucking their water in. So they become self-sufficient in that way. And I believe if you own a villa there, you're going to like, it's going to be in your model. It's going to be in your business model that you're going to either harvest water / have water trucked in. As you saw from the video from Somewhere West, it's absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous view. Let's see here. Dosey Do says the water trucks are doing great business. Yep. Natalie says 2,000 rooms. That's a lot of watts. Yes, it is. Chantel, it seems everyone wants to build on or near the waterfront. Is there land available further inland? Yeah, there's a good amount of land available inland. You probably need to get off like the main road strip as I showed you before. But yeah, there's a good amount of land available. Simone says, Throp, thank you and your team for your tireless work in keeping us informed on Negril / Jamaica. Your insight and resources is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Simone. I appreciate that. Those kind words. Thank you. Two Princess says, anyone here knows Petersfield in Westmoreland? My great grandmother is from there. Yep, I know it. That's where I think I've been there once, and that's where one of freelancers, one of my freelancers, I believe they still live there. Eastbola says, is there a shortage of workers in Negril? What type of workers? I may be returning resident, and while I would live in Kingston, where I'm from, I would like to make it happen if there's work in Negril. Yeah, there is a lack of workers. So there's a lack of skilled labor. We kind of talked about this yesterday, but I always talk about it, particularly carpentry, electricians, masons. What else am I missing? Those are three that I know off the top of my head that is severely, severely lacking. My friend is building a villa on the west end, and he brought in workers from Kingston. He brought in day workers from Kingston because he couldn't find them here in Negril. That kind of goes to show you where we are in this area. Now, when you get into the hospitality hotel industry, every hotel is saying the same thing. It's been the last 2 years have been very, very difficult and continues to be so. It's not getting any better in terms of finding workers in every department, and every department has been extremely, extremely challenging, like right across the board. All right, let's keep going. Chris PW, hey, at last the beach is back. Man, where you been? You always complaining that I'm in the office or in the studio and I'm not on the beach. And I've been on the beach for how many weeks now? People can tell you. And you're the one that complains the most about it. But anyway, yes, glad to be back on the beach. Glad to have you, Chris. Appreciate you chiming in. Sweet Feather says, that part, do those cruise companies even pay for that water, or do they get it free? I'm almost certain they pay. I believe it's a great revenue stream for Jamaica. Andrew Mack says, don't a business have private garbage collection? Do y'all also rely on the public sanitation to pick up your garbage? No. So this is the conflict of interest, right? So you're absolutely correct. We do pay for private garbage, but also the public, the NSWMA, the Public Garbage Collection Company, division of the government, and NSWMA, they are also taking private money to collect garbage legally. Like legally, they that is part of their revenue model. So us as a hotel, we can hire them and to come pick up our garbage, but they are also responsible for picking up the taxpayers' garbage in the residents. If you can only pick up one or the other, which one are you going to pick up? See what I'm saying? Like the incentives are disaligned, and there was a conflict of interest. Kaz Robinson, sorry, hotel warders / showers should be on timers so that they do not waste water. What about the poor people in the area they have to do without water. Not good enough. We're on the same page. You know, that was the entire discussion yesterday. Is really a focus on residents getting water. On March 22nd, 2024 is World Waters Day. Lisa Hanna's article about water in Jamaica was featured in The Gleaner. This is a global issue, too, that the United Nations asked people to be involved with. I think that's a great thing to be involved with. Kurt McKenzie says, yep, lived in Ocho Rios years ago. When the cruise ships came on a Tuesday, the water level in the pipes would drop to a trickle. Really? That's crazy. This is the first time I'm hearing that. Insane. That's insane. That's completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. KJ Martin says, Throp, agree with 100%. There needs to be better communication with citizens. Yeah. Kentha Steven says, hope all is well and family, checking in from DC. Are there any lists you can suggest we subscribe to access properties available in Negril not listed on the MLS, villas, and new construction developments? There is no list that I am aware of. Maybe we should create one. I mean, I know we haven't sent out a newsletter in quite some time, but that's one thing that I was doing, was sending out properties that were for sale, some of which were not on the MLS. I am Phoenix. Hello, everyone tuning in from Wisconsin, USA. Big ups, Throp. We love your content. Thank you so much. Thank you for chiming in. Freedom Block says, there is enough rivers in Jamaica to get water to everyone. The government is lazy. That's what some people think. But yeah, everybody seems to be saying the same thing. We got a lot of water resources, but it's just not being distributed. Oh man, I'm just seeing this, Simone. Thank you so much, Simone. I'm just seeing the donation that you made. Thank you. Really appreciate it. You guys are too much. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate it so much, and thank you as well, Coach Donnie. Really appreciate it. I can't thank you all enough. And this is just so much encouragement, and for me to just kind of just keep going, keep pushing out this content as much as possible, and getting you accurate and valuable information as quick and consistently as I possibly can. Johnny Johnson says the Negril live feed, that live feed of Negril Beach is healing. Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Really happy to hear that. All right, let me finish up these last few comments. Jamaica actually has a significant amount of water. It varies dramatically geographically. That's an issue that could be dealt with. Narcissist says, big up Madison and Milwaukee. Gareth, happy Sunday, Throppers. Happy Sunday to you as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. Yeah, I know you guys, we need to come up with some more break content. What should we do? We haven't, I guess we could do the Christmas run. We haven't done that in a while. I've been doing the diving video. Let's do the Christmas run. Just bear in mind that this was a Christmas video, but I think it's still relevant. Gives you a little bit. I got to do it. Well, I tore my meniscus, so I can't run right now, but I got to do, when I'm back up and running, we'll do another one of these walking/running tours of the Negril Beach, or maybe we'll actually go on the road. All right, where are we? Sorry, trying to find it here. There we go. Okay, be back. This one's about 9.5 minutes. Gonna take a quick break, and we'll see you guys in a sec. We're gonna hop into yesterday's conversation and dive a little bit deeper into that for this second half of the stream. This is the restaurant deck. Early morning, it's about 7:15. We start breakfast at 7:30. Another 15 minutes or so. Nice and calm and quiet Christmas morning. And that's the sun coming up over the mountains way back east. Kissing the property. This is looking towards downtown. Then over to the west end. still pretty early. Not really anybody out here on the beach. It'll definitely pick up later. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. Today we're gonna do a little tour, very short tour. Okay, so of course, starting here at Travelers, and we'll probably go up maybe 2 miles, maybe. We'll see. See where the legs take us. I'm not gonna run hard at all today. Did 17 miles yesterday, so definitely taking it relaxed today. But let's get started. Start my watch, and we're going. I realized very quickly that this is probably not going to be the best footage of me running on the beach in terms of the shakiness. Because if I turn my camera around, it's going to get way more shaky. But I will stop and film where and when I can. All right, just ran up by Albert's. It's maybe like half a mile from Travelers. Used to have a lot of live music. I still think they have live music here, but not what it once was. If those remember what it was like back in the day. But they also have like beach volleyball tournaments, or they used to at least. And I do believe that this is where they're going to be doing fireworks from on New Year's Eve. At least they used to from that barge out there. All right, Alfreds, let's keep it moving. All right, we're still going here for about a mile and a quarter in, up by Margaritaville, and looks like we're gonna hit 2 miles, so I think we are. But hold on, I'll show you exactly where we are. We got Margaritaville, and Travelers is, where's Travelers? Somewhere over there. We'll figure it out. I think it's over there. We'll figure it out. We'll keep going up. Gonna keep it moving. All right, just hit the turnaround points. We are just at Beaches, at the end of Beaches. A little over 2 miles in. Feeling good. Still pretty cool out here. The sun is like not beaming at this point, so it's pretty nice. I think it's around 7:30. I can't check my watch right now, but let me give you an idea of where we are. 1 second. So that's heading back downtown. I don't think you can see Travelers because it's on the bend, but that's where we came from. This is the rest of the beach. So you got Hedonism, then Point Village right at that tip right there, and then of course Booby Cay Island. What else is left here? You basically have Long Bay, which is a public beach. That's where Reggae Marathon ends, so which is like kind of right tucked away over there. And then after that, you have Azul. Then you have Boardwalk. And there's one in between, but I forget the name of it. And then after Boardwalk is Sandals. And then right next to Sandals is, so that's Sandals right there. And then right next to Sandals is Hedonism. And that pretty much is the end of the beach, so to speak, at least on the northern end. And then you go into Bloody Bay, which is the other 2 miles that I always talk about, which is where the reuse are. And can't really get over there right now. Or I think you have to be staying over there. I feel like you can get there somehow, but I don't know how, like publicly that is. But yeah, this is Beaches. This is what we were talking about on the last live stream I did on Wednesday about their new rooms that they have here. And this is gonna be beautiful because like look what you have to look at and wake up to every morning. is the ocean. It's like right there the whole time. Morning, yes. So yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful view. I don't know which these are or what they are, but like, you know, at Sandals, obviously they're gonna do a marvelous world-class job with these things. Maybe we'll get a tour. You know, when it's all said and done, would love to do a tour and see what that view is like and what the rooms and everything are like. But oh wait, you can see, I guess that's like the rendition right there of what they're gonna look like. Let's go take a look real quick. Hope I'm not intruding or impeding, but I always get excited about this stuff, especially when it has to do with Negril and investing here. And like I've been saying, you know, they're obviously seeing a lot of potential and are very bullish on Jamaica and Negril, as am I. All right, a little bit of a rant, but let's get back home. All right, just stopped here at Couples, which is another very nice all-inclusive off the beach here. I believe it's adults only, but definitely for couples. It's made for couples, right? And yeah, probably got a mile and a half to the end of the beach, which we're not running that way. We're actually going to be running back down this way. Got less than 20 minutes to go. I'm gonna keep it moving, but this was nice lighting, so I figured I'd stop and share. Forgot that I did a leg workout last night too, after running those 17 miles in the morning. That's really why my legs are feeling a little wobbly. Just sharing where I'm at right now. So a lot of people ask me about where a good vegan place to go is, and this is where I send everybody. Rasta Aid. I've actually never eaten here, but everybody tells me it's really, really good. This is about half a mile up from Travelers, half a mile north from Travelers. A little more than half a mile, yeah. Slightly over half a mile. But cool spot. I'll get here some point and have some food and be able to personally recommend it at some point in time. But here, great things, great reviews. Again, everybody I send here is very happy with it. Rasta Aid. All right, back to it. And that's all she wrote. Back to Travelers. We did 41 minutes together. 4.34 miles, 4.35 miles, I should say. 9:35 per mile pace. Contemplating jumping in the water, but it's a little late. So I think that's it. And we're gonna stretch it out, call it a day. Hope you guys enjoyed that tour, mini tour. If you like it, we can do it again. We can show off some more properties and different parts of the beach at the later time when we do this again, if you want me to do this again. But that was fun for me, nice and relaxed, no worries. Anyway, back to the regularly scheduled program. See you guys later.
담담하게 넌 무뚝뚝한 말투로 미안하고 고마웠다 말하네. 이미 알고 있단 듯 고개 끄덕였지만 아직 잡은 손을 느낌이니까.
그런 말 하지 마. 내게도 쉬운 일은 아냐. 빠듯한 현실의 무게가 버겁고 낯설어. 마지막 나의 배려가 어쩐지 상처만 주는 것 같아. 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우린 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를. 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 종족도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까. 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우린 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를. 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 종족도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까.
Go. Oh. All right, we're back. Okay, hope you enjoyed that break. I did. I just got some fruits, something to drink. Where are we? Wait, was a Throp jogging for 3 hours a day? Not anymore. Not yet. Not yet. Got to get back to it. I miss running for 3 hours a day. Actually. Now he says, "What is this song? Smoothing groove. Soothing groove. I forgot. It's I use this platform called Epidemic Sound. That's where I get this royalty-free music. It was a Korean song. I wish I could let you know. Maybe I'll try and find out. right? It's going to be difficult for me to find actually, but I know it's a Korean song. Andrew Mack thought we want to hear reggae music, man. Yeah, that's one thing. I think that is like I've said this before. If you're a musician, when you go to these royalty free music platforms, the reggae is terrible. Like it's horrendous. It's got to be like the worst genre of music in terms of representation. It's just so bad. And that's the only reason why I don't put it in any, or maybe I just have a high standard for reggae. I don't know, but that's kind of the main reason why you don't hear a lot of reggae, if at all, in any of my videos, because it's so bad. Even what you call it? Drill music is great. And that's like a new genre of music. Drill hip hop is good. EDM is great. Even singer, songwriter, like that is also great. I don't really have any country, but it's not. I don't really listen to country either. But I think that is such a great opportunity for local musicians to put their music on these platforms and then get royalties from it. But I've encouraged several musicians to take that in consideration, but just haven't seen any meaningful change. Or if somebody does know a platform that I'm unaware of that I should look into where I can get good reggae, even dance hall music. Dance hall, non-existent. Nope, not there at all. But if you know of a platform that I can go to get royalty-free music, I would do that. Or if you know an artist that would be willing to work with me to use their music in my videos and then also to help promote their songs, albums, their art, I'd be more than happy to do that. But yeah, not a lot. Simone says, I sense that those of us relocating to are already residing in Negril, along with those engaged in local business, will need to establish a system for pooling funds to address the community's needs. In a sense, consciously or subconsciously, that is already happening with organizations, right? And maybe what you're saying, Simone, is like we need to do it in a more purpose-driven way, an intentional way. So what I mean in terms of it's happening already is it's kind of like the examples we gave yesterday with the amount of donations that. So I'll go back to a specific example. Mr. Grizzle gave the example, and we can hop right into yesterday's conversation with the authors, who is a OG Negrillian. His family, the author, is like the last name Arthurs is synonymous with Negril, with Westmoreland. And he says from when he was a kid up until now, the only investments that have been made to the Negril all age school has been private people, guests coming here. And it's so true. And I don't know if like we've created just a vicious cycle of dependency because of the tourist town that we live in, right? And is it a situation where the government is like, oh, the tourists will take care of it. Oh, the Rock House Foundation will do it, or the Sandoz Foundation, or the Negril Education Environment Trust will do it, so we don't have to do any investment. So I don't know if that is a reality that we created for ourselves, or which would be a really bad reality. The assumption is that somebody in the private sector will take care of the desperate needs of this particular school. So I'm not sure. But my point is that little to no money is being reinvested in the schools that I am seeing in this area. And it's a very sad situation and kind of backwards as well, because we do expect high performing students and eventually high performing productive adults, but the resources that we're giving them to educate themselves, and also the lack of support in terms of uniform, transportation, books, food, is just not there. So it's really a survival of the fittest situation. So that's one example. Another example is the Gets Kids to School program with the Negril Rotary Club and the Mary Gate of Heaven's Church alongside St. Anthony's Soup Kitchen. They literally bus kids to school because those kids can't afford to go to school or don't have enough money to take a taxi to go to school consistency. And on top of that, they were going to school hungry. So what they did was started a breakfast program for those kids and then eventually a lunch program for those kids. And what I kept saying yesterday is I can't even imagine where Negril would be, specifically the children of Negril would be, without organizations like the Negril Rotary Club, the Sandals Foundation, the Rock House Foundation, and the Negril Education and Environment Trust, the St. Mary's Church, and the Lions Club, the Kiwanis Club. These are great organizations that have taken upon themselves to fill a gap that shouldn't be needed to fill, and I just don't know what would happen without it. So to your point, Simone, perhaps there could be a situation where we do invest into a fund, or maybe, instead of creating a new fund, we can work through one of these organizations that are doing, in my opinion, that are doing a very good job, but perhaps we can ask that the funds be steered in a specific direction that we think would have a much higher impact on the community or on a group of people. What that could be, I'm not sure, but I like the idea. I like where your head is going. And I think that we could, with these funds, with these pooled funds, I think we can make a huge difference in many, many people's lives. Many people's lives. Simone also says, until the government/local authority catches up, this should not be the solution, but it may have to be if we want a clean and functioning community that sets the right expectations of a resort town. As I'm reading this, Simone, this brings up another example that was talked about yesterday on the live stream, which is Mrs. Gail Jackson Brooks from the Negril Treehouse, and she pays, I believe, once a month 2 individuals to literally walk the boulevard and collect bags of garbage. And I mean, there are so many of these huge bags of garbage. And again, what would Norman Manley Boulevard look like? What would Negril Beach Road look like if she didn't employ these people and take money out of her own pocket to have this road cleaned? I don't know. It's a scary thought. And then again, going back to Negril All Age example, do we create a vicious cycle of dependency because we took it upon ourselves to implement what I would say is municipal responsibilities or municipal programs that are the responsibility of the municipality, right? And so it's a slippery slope, I think, but it could be a necessary slope. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just like, man, I could see a dependency being formed very easily, because I believe that's what's happening with the Negril School. Jackson says, don't get me started on the music thing. Nasser Yard says, the reggae is slim pickings on YouTube, but there is a few. I believe it. Natalie Holmes says, I hope to make my way back to the soup kitchen and volunteer sometime this week. Awesome. Yeah, I'll also say, if you're looking to do some voluntary work in Negril, there are a lot of organizations that can give you that opportunity. So the Negril Soup Kitchen, or St. Anthony's Soup Kitchen is one of those things. That's where my dad used to volunteer pretty much every day, as a matter of fact. So they're a great organization. Like I said, they do amazing things, especially for these kids. Sweet Feather says that could be a recycling science conservation project and a lesson for students, future marine biologists. I like it. Donna Marie says, greetings from Miami. Appreciate your content, Throp. The government has a hands-off approach which facilitates the people self-sufficient. Why do we need the government? Yeah, we don't want to start going down that path or that path of thought, as a society. And I mean, I understand it, but I don't think that's a good idea to go down that way, that path, that thinking. And when I say not a good idea, I don't think it's a good idea from the government's perspective that it's people start thinking along those lines. Like, yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to go down there. Anyway, let's get back to the agenda, which is, let me pull up my agenda here. Yeah, we're going to talk about which we have already kind of did in a meaningful way, which is the discussing yesterday on the burning of the Morass. And I think a lot of great points were made by my colleagues and guests that I had on the show. So it was myself, Mr. Grizzle, Sophie Grizzle, Damian Salmon, and Simone Goff, and all members of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Grizzle is a founding member of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, and Sophie, his daughter, and Damien, who is one of the owners of Rock House Skylark, Miss Lily's. And we all have a vested interest in this community. We all have a vested interest in the ecology of this community, and we want the best for this community in a sustainable way. And we find ourselves as a community in some very unprecedented times, and we all understand the teething process that we need to go through in order to get to where we need to be. But nonetheless, like, this is like it's unprecedented in the fact that it's happening, but it's also unprecedented in the lack of communication as well. And that was essentially the ongoing theme from yesterday's discussion. And we're seeing this as business owners, as residents of Negril, but then also we also feel like we had an obligation, or have an obligation, to speak up for those who don't necessarily have a voice. And there have been at least 2 demonstrations that I am aware of on the West End by people who don't have water. And when they start demonstrating, when residents start demonstrating, it has gotten to a fever pitch. It has gotten to a point where people, to a point of frustration, where people no longer can just sit down and do nothing, because it has become and come to ridiculous levels. And again, I believe this is more so because of a lack of communication. Nobody has any information as to, again, why is this happening? Is it because of drought? We think so, or we believe so. How long is it going to be? We don't know. The times that we've been given for and keep in mind, we've been through drought before. This is nothing new to us. We know drought. We're familiar with drought. We get it. We understand it. It's never been to this level for this long. And then also the adherence or lack thereof to the on and off time. So in drought season, we're used to saying, hey, there won't be any water from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. or something like that. We're so used to that. So we're not unreasonable when it comes to that. But where the unreasonableness comes in, and we have a right to be unreasonable, is like the residents who haven't literally had any water coming through their pipes for months. That's crazy. I think that is unacceptable. And then for it to be happening, they don't get water in their pipes for months, and to not have any information as to why and how long, that's when the frustration starts to fester. And simply just asking for answers. What's going on? What's happening? What can we expect? And that was the main through line, if you will, of the discussion yesterday. And I think my colleagues did a great job of explaining just the breakdown of, I wouldn't say how we got here, but maybe some solutions to what's happening. There was a great breakdown of the morass, right? So going to shift over there. Let me just answer. Jeff here says it's about 2 miles shorted to go Whitehall, then West End Road to West Ender from roundabout. I'm not sure. I think I might be reading your comment out of context there, Jeff. But shifting to the Morass situation. So there were funds allocated from United Nations Project Association. I'm sorry, I forget the name of the organization, a branch of the United Nations. But we got millions of US dollars that was supposed to be worked through NEPA, the National Environmental Planning Agency of Jamaica. And those funds were supposed to be used, and allow me to pull up the map here. Those funds were supposed to be used to re-wet the morass. So part of the reason you can see here, part of the reason, this is the morass here, and the video that I showed and the picture from the thumbnail, and let me see if I could. Oh, so this is the thumbnail picture right here. If I click it, it's going to go away, but you get the idea. This is a thumbnail picture right here. So this was a fire. This was, I think, March 24th, I believed, was when this picture was taken. I was driving home. I actually turned back, got my drone, and I was like, I'm going to capture this thing. And this is by, let me see. Sorry. Somewhere back here. I'm not, hopefully I'm getting the right area. So it was somewhere, probably like around here where my mouse is. And when I was leaving Travelers, so I was down here. Wow, way down here. So I was down here, and I remember coming out on the road, just like I walked out of Traveler right here, and I looked down the road, and I saw like the glow, the orange glow from the fire. So I was like, oh, it must be like right here, because like that's how much it was like emulating, and then you can see the glow. And then I drove down to Kenny's Italian Cafe, which is just down the road, and I took out my drone and started flying it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like so far away, but from the ground it looks close, but that's how big the fire was. It was huge. And so I got in my car and I drove all the way down here where I showed you before. And so anyway, the reason why the fire happens is because of, it's a natural fire that happens because of the peat. I don't know, spontaneous combustion. I don't know the science behind it, but a lot of it because it's super dry, super dry. And from what I understand, and from what Sophie was explaining, and this is why it's so dire, is that right now the fires are on, they're surface fires, right? And what the expert was explaining, I forget the gentleman's name, but what he was explaining is what happened in other parts of the world, and I believe is what also happened in California, is that sometimes these fires go below the surface and sometimes 6 feet under. And he's like, that is what we are trying to avoid here. We're trying to avoid a situation where the fires are below the earth, and that's when you get California type fires, and that we don't have anything to fight against. We're not equipped to fight against that. And so we're trying to avoid that as much as we can. One of the ways of doing that is preventative measures. One of the preventative measures is to re-wet the morass. And basically wet this basically flood this area in a good way, so there's less of a chance of this thing catching on fire naturally, especially during drought season. There were several proposals made as to how this can be done, and NEPA, the National Environmental Planning Agency, has suggested one way. I really don't understand it. Like, I actually asked Sophie to explain it twice, re-explain it on the pod yesterday, and what she is saying is that is the most inefficient and most expensive way of doing it. And what she's advocating for is that, I'm going to repost that clip. I think it's just so important that we understand it as Jamaicans, people who care about Jamaica, the community. I think it's important that we understand the breakdown of these proposed solutions and do what makes the most sense, do what is going to have the most impact in a positive way on the morass and getting it rehydrated, so to speak. And so one of the ways that she had suggested, or the way she suggested that makes the most sense, is basically to open up some river inlets to kind of flood the area. I don't know where those are. Otherwise, I would show you. Like, I don't know where those inlets are. But from what she's explaining, Sophie has explained, It is the cheapest way, and it is the most effective way, and it is a way that we can have it would have a meaningful impact in a very short period of time. As to why that's not happening or why that doesn't have high consideration, I don't know. Sophie herself is baffled by that as well, and we would like some understanding, some answers as to why they think their way is the better way to do it. And I think that's a fair question to ask. And I don't believe if you're living in a community that is and where decisions are being made about your future and the viability of your future, your family's future, are being made 4 hours away in the capital of Kingston, I believe we should have a say in it. I believe we should have some understanding. And I think there is a lack of that. And again, kind of coming down to communication once again, we don't understand why this thing, one, has taken so long, because this money has been allocated since 2017, right? It's 2024. Sophie also told us that there was an investigation opened up into NEPA as well by the United Nations. We also are trying to find out, or I should say the chamber is trying to find out the results of that investigation. So a lot of things happening, a lot of moving parts. And at the end of the day, we don't know what's up with the bureaucracy. We don't know what's up with the red tape. We don't know what's happening. At the end of the day, like, Negril continues to suffer because of the lack of action. The money has been granted. The money has not been physically allocated. It's there. How much is left, I don't know. But she also explained there was a ton of studies that were done. Some of them are excellent studies, excellent studies, but no action. And so Freedom said, trust me, that's gone. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. It better not be gone. Like, that would be crazy if that money is gone. I mean, we sit and laugh about it, but it better not be going. Yeah. Jay Fitz. Y'all funny. Yeah, this is 2017. I'm sorry to say the funds are gone. NEPA has spent the money and received the kickbacks. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not going to say yay or nay until somebody. Sorry, laughing. Definitely gone. You won. This is definitely gone. Well, we gotta find out, right? We gotta find out if that's a situation or not. We gotta know what's going on. But we need to get this thing done. Like, if the money is gone, all right, it's gone. We need to. When I say we need to move on, I'm not saying like move on and nobody's held accountable. I'm not saying that at all. But we need to move on and like figure out a solution. We can't be waiting on this. And the crazy thing is, let me see if I can find this website. So this is the Iwiko project, and Sophie Grizzle, Damian Salmon, and Nola Stair. All three of them were on the Stair committee. Sorry, I don't know why the website's not coming up. Hopefully it goes in a second. But they were all three of them on the steering committee. That was basically part of the decision-making process, oversight committee to especially again, Kingston being 4 hours away, but having a local voice and understanding of boots on the ground, understanding of what's happening. They also advocated that NEPA open office here in Negril, but that never happened. They didn't see it necessary from what Sophie has explained. So I'm trying to find the project here. I'm just on the Negril Chamber of Commerce website. I'll show you. Oh, here it goes. Iwiko presentation. So this is what they were part of. It's loading really slowly. As soon as it loads, I'll get it up here. But I'm gonna put it in the comments here for those that are interested in looking into it. The Negril Chamber of Commerce Negril Chamber of Commerce website. And you can take a look at it. If it loads up, I will go back to it, but it's just taking a really long time. But at the end of the day, like, we need to hydrate the morass, or this is going to keep happening. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. There was also a study that was mentioned that rainfall in Negril has been trending downwards, and we're getting less rain. Very concerning. So things need to be put in place for a future that is going to have, dare I say, exponentially less rain. And we got to think about all the implications that are associated with having less rainfall in an area, and such a lush green area like Negril. So it's very, very concerning. And we got to also understand that, and obviously this is on record and it's super public, especially our conversation yesterday. We will always be able to go back and see what was said, see the warnings that were made and the evidence that supports those warnings. And we do not want a future, and we want to avoid a future in which we have California-esque type fires in the grill. We can't afford that. If that happens, like, I mean, goodbye. That's it. Goodbye. There is no move to Negril. There is no hotels in Negril. It would become completely uninhabitable. And so we are at a stage and at a point where we have the power, the resources, the know-how to do something about a future of that nature, a future of that caliber. And we know what to do. We have the studies. We have the resources. Now we need the will and we need the action. That's what needs to happen and should happen. But right now, what we asked for from our conversation yesterday is communication. Somebody to answer our phone calls. From what they were saying on the live stream yesterday, nobody's picking up their phone calls. Emails are not being returned. And I think that is the very least that we should expect, is kind of getting understanding of what's going on. Is this thing happening? And there's also a deadline of June, I believe, given by the United Nations branch, because the deadlines has been extended, as you can imagine, for a long time, because this was given the sign off in 2017. So again, I hope y'all are wrong. I hope this money isn't gone. I really hope so. But yeah, I will definitely keep you all posted on whatever movements, step backs, whatever it is, whatever happens with this thing. All right, let's hop over to the comments. Oren, good day, Throp. How are you? I saw your interview with the folks developing the Pinnacle in Mobay. It was amazing, very thorough and informative. I'm very optimistic about Jamaica's future. Good job, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Despite everything that we talked about yesterday and we're talking about now, I'm also continuously optimistic about Jamaica's future. But I feel we have an obligation to, speak up when is necessary, to course correct as we go up this upward trajectory and make micro adjustments as we see fit. Carly Soul says, hey, Throb, joining a bit late. Good to catch the live today. I had no idea about the severity of the situation in Negril. Yeah, it's really bad. Natalie Holmes needs to start ASAP. Summertime is soon here, and the sun is ruthless. Yeah, and I hope, I don't think we're going to... We had what do they call that summer yet last year? I don't know what it was called, but it was ridiculously hot. Like, I was miserable. I was so miserable because it was so hot. My brother was explaining it to me, and if somebody else knows what it is, but it was a hotter than normal summer. And yeah, we don't want these kind of forest fires happening. We don't want them to become any bigger than they already are. Jay Fitz says, what happened when PM doesn't respond to your request for a meeting? What's plan B? You have to have one. Good point. Good point. What do we do if he doesn't take our meeting, our request for a meeting? I don't see. I mean, first, I'd like to say I don't see why he wouldn't take our meeting. I don't see why. I mean, I could see him saying like, "Oh, I'm busy for the next month. I can see you in May," something like that. But if he doesn't take our meeting, a lot of things are running through my head. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And I think it's a fair thought exercise, Jay Fitz. Thank you. Corey MPA, Throp, again, I asked the question, who did the business community support pre-elections? If that is a complicated question, I'll understand. Who did the community support pre-elections? So I'll break this down this way. Traditionally, the area that we're in, Westmoreland, Negril, just say Negril, is traditionally a PNP area. I mean, this has been one of the areas that have been historically just locked down. There's no point in JLP even running. Not that they didn't run, but everybody knew this was a surefire locked up situation that nobody had to worry about. The PNP didn't have to worry about because it was so assured that they were going to win. However, I don't know how many years that they were in power here, but the people of Negril in this area were so frustrated with nothing getting done that in the last election they voted them out. And so this is the first time in a very, I don't know how long, but a very long time that we've had JLP leadership here. And I can tell you the community was very excited for the change. Very, very excited for the change because it was just so much of more of the same, no action for many, many years. And the thought was like, okay, now we're going to have new blood, new regime. Now we're going to get things done. And we understand things don't happen overnight. It takes time, advocacy, etc., etc. But now, now we're like, I would say like, what do we do? But it's between the devil and the deep blue sea, and that's the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the situation. And which is better or which is worse, I don't know. I kind of don't care. We just want a body to really fight for us and represent us in the way that we need and also get things done. So, and I don't stand or support either party. And I think like where Jamaica is, I feel like it's so important to have that mindset. And it shouldn't be, I'm supporting this party because this is what I was born into. This is what I know. Like we can't, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not telling anybody to vote in one way or another, but I just feel like we are at such a like delicate, precious place as a country that it's so important that we go with the people who are going to get the job done at the end of the day, who have the plan, who we believe that can take Jamaica and our smaller communities to the next level, help us reach its potential, like bit by bit, step by step. So that's kind of my take on it. I don't like to talk particular politics on this channel, but I know how passionate people are. But this is not a political situation having no water. It shouldn't be. Simone on the podcast yesterday believed that was what's happening. And that is just so sad. If that is the real reason, I'm not saying that it is. If that is the real reason why people on the West End haven't had water for months. And again, I can only speculate because we have no communication. Nobody's telling us that it's because of this or because of that. And their minds are going to wonder. People are going to jump to conclusions. And you can't help but you can't blame them for that. You can't blame them for that at all. Let's go. Oren says, Throp, to dabble into politics a bit a bit. You and I agree that the macroeconomics fundamentals for JA is doing good. For those complaining, try not feeling it. What do you think the government should do more? Yeah, I mean that's exactly how I feel. Like you kind of summed it up very well there, Oren. Is that the macroeconomics of Jamaica are phenomenal. But when you get down to the boots on the ground, like and what's happening in the communities like Negril, it's just like, whew, all right, GDP is doing well, but we don't got no water. You know what I'm saying? Unemployment is at the lowest in however many years, but they don't got no water. It's just like people not trying to hear that, and I understand. So anyway, like I said, I like you said, like I said, try not to go down this politics rabbit hole, but we would like for sure, like some action, but for now, some information communication would be great. Would be great. Chartree House says, Throp, please continue to advocate and clarify that so many people would be desolate without services from the Lions Club and others. Negril lacks a real social infrastructure by design historically. Agreed. We need that to be put in place. I was going to take the conversation somewhere. I had an agenda, but I keep getting lost. Okay, the page finally loaded. So here is I'm going to put this page. This is the iWeco page. So you can take a look at that. It has a bunch of studies. And then also the iWeco website as well. All right, a couple of announcements real quick. So every month we do these live streams. Oh, this has the wrong date, but you get the idea. So we do these monthly live streams. So it's called the Thropper Think Tank Zoom call. So this one, I know it says March 9th there, but this one is actually going to be on April. Hold on, let me get the right date here. It's going to be April 13th. So that's our next Throppers Think Tank. So this is actually a Zoom call. This is a private Zoom call for the Thropper Think Tank tier on Patreon. So it's linked in the description below. So if you want to become a Patreon, join this conversation. It's a private group. Right now, I think 15 or so people are signed up, but we've got about 10 or so people who've been coming, and it's kind of been growing. So who knows how many people is going to show up. And it's a conversation that is very specific, almost like a group consultation is the way I would look at it. So if you have specific questions that you want to, ask me or ask of the group, this has been I've been enjoying it, as a matter of fact, of just kind of getting insight from you all. And so if you're open to joining that, you can go to my Patreon and join it. I got to make a post I keep forgetting to advertise it. I'll try to advertise it this week. But if you're interested, it's $20 to join the group, and you can join the call. If you want to be on camera, you can. If you don't, you don't. They're recorded. So if you're unable to make on, say, the 13th of April, you can always go back and rewatch it. So we do that every month. Would love to have you. If you want to be a part of it, you can join the Patreon. I'll also bring this up once again. The International Real Estate Conference and Expo is April 18th and 19th at the Montego Bay Convention Center. And if you are at all interested in real estate in Jamaica, the great thing about the Expo is like they're going to have builders, they're going to have architects, realtors, all of the support industries for development are going to be there, as well as if you want inside information about real estate opportunities. This is the real estate conference that for realtors, for prospective homeowners, for prospective developers, this is one that you want to be at. And as I mentioned earlier, I am also going to be giving a keynote speech there at the conference, and I will have a booth there, a Throp-X booth. So if you want to come by and say hello, you can do that. I will put the website on the screen, which is irec.realtorsjamaica.org. You can buy your tickets there, get more information. It would be great to meet some of you. In addition to that, we are doing these weekly live streams. So every Thursday at 5 p.m. Jamaica time, we're doing a live stream where I'm interviewing somebody in the real estate industry. So the last 2 Thursdays, I had the president of the International Real Estate Conference and Expo, Homeowners Expo. And then this past Thursday, I had the president of the Real Estate Realtors Association of Jamaica on. And it was, both of them were extremely insightful. I learned so much. So please, you can join us on Thursdays at 5 p.m. to learn more about that. It's not necessarily about the conference, but you will learn more about the conference there. But you will also have some inside information on the state of real estate, the real estate industry in Jamaica. So those are the announcements. I feel like I'm missing something else. Oh, thanks for the donation, Darnell, and thanks for the question. Will the conference be live stream or recorded? I haven't heard that. Great question. Great question. I will ask and find out if it is going to be live streamed. Good question. I will post it when I post about advertising the live stream on Thursday. I will also post whether or not it will be live stream. Thank you for your donation, Darnell. Always appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Philistina said, "Hello, Throp. I am trying to grasp how there is a water shortage in Negril. I listened in. Yeah, we're trying to grasp it too. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. We're trying to understand what exactly is happening, and we are looking for answers as well. So as soon as as I start to hear information, if I do start getting information, I will for sure share it with you. Or if things change and we're back to our normal water schedule, I will also let you all know." Jay Fitz says the leaders of Jamaica better do something before America comes and dangle a few billions to fix the many problems. But we all know America doesn't do anything out of the goodness of its heart. Fair statement. Okay, I know I'm missing something. I'm trying to figure it out, trying to get to my notes here, but I can't really find them. And as soon as I bet you, as soon as I get off, I'm like, oh, that's what it was. Okay, I got it right here. Oh, so important. Oh my gosh. All right, so we lost half the audience as I was trying to figure this out. So yeah, thank you, Shayna. I talked about Throppers Think Tank. I did mention that 13th of April coming up. What I did want to mention is we're supposed to launch Throp-X sales today, but we are having, because the hotel is going under renovations, we usually, the last 2 years at least, we've been doing Throp-X mid-November. And now I'm trying to figure out, can I do a poll here? I guess not. I'm trying to figure out what's the best date. And so we have a poll on my community page. If you wouldn't mind going to that and filling it out, I would definitely appreciate it. So basically, we're looking at the 2 dates that we're looking at is the week of Thanksgiving, last week in November, and then also the first week in December. And what I'm surprised at is that most people are looking at the first, want to do Thanksgiving week. Does anybody have any insight on that? I'd love to hear. I'm just putting it up there. If you just scroll down a little bit, just click that, and if you can vote, I would appreciate it. Just scroll down a little bit. You'll see the poll. It would help out a ton if you were able to to answer the poll. So Donna Bryce says, I think after Thanksgiving would be better. I think so too. That's what I was thinking. The first week in December is the better week to do this. But most people are saying Thanksgiving, at least according to the poll, is that Thanksgiving is a better week. We as a hotel, we can handle either one. Thanksgiving is not a super popular week down here in Jamaica, so that's fine. The only thing with the first week in December is that Reggae Marathon is, let me just bring this up. Reggae Marathon is Sunday, December 1st. Right? So Reggae Marathon is Sunday, December 1st. And I know a lot of people got in a day or two early. So meaning you would have to really book your tickets really soon because that's a very popular day / weekend in Negril. And it will also be difficult to get hotel rooms. Damn, yeah, Thanksgiving might be. I'm just thinking about it now. It might be difficult for me because we had to put up a lot of our speakers, and we got those rooms from my hotel colleagues, which I'm very grateful for. So it might be difficult to it might be difficult to get hotels to put people up that week. Isis Blue says airfare will be higher during Thanksgiving week. But if you come in the week before, so the conference starts the Sunday before Thanksgiving, right? So I forgot to mention that. We're extending it basically half a day. So instead of starting Monday night, which we did last year, we're actually going to start Monday day, right? So we're actually, the education sessions will be on Monday, Tuesday. That's the main difference that we're doing here. So would love your insight, please, if you can vote. Anything that you want to say here in the comments, about either week, I appreciate it. I see Shauna, Thanksgiving week. Phoenix says Thanksgiving week as well. Appreciate it. Isis Blue says Thanksgiving week will be more expensive airfare. But again, you're gonna book way before Thanksgiving. We all know the biggest travel day in America is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So you will not be caught up in that at all. You will be there probably 3 to 4 days before, depending on when you want to get here. Jay Fitz says anything to get out of making a turkey or entertaining relatives you don't like will be the date most people select. Fair enough. Fair enough. That was one of the last announcements. Let's see. Yep, that was it. That was the last thing. That was the thing that I was forgetting. But thank you for your insight. And I always think that this is so cool that I can just ask you all what you think, and I can get live and accurate feedback on what to do. So either way, we're going to make a decision this week, and we will be launching. I know so many people have been asking me. We will be launching Throp-X tickets this week, and we're also, as I mentioned before, we're going to do a payment plan. So you won't have to fork up immediately the entire cost of the ticket. You can do, I don't know how we're going to do it, but a few $100 here or there, and then it'll be automatically taken out, or you can contribute in a payment plan that works for you. But I think this is a good way to get more and more people to come to this conference, and I think it's an incredibly important conference for Jamaica and for Negril. So I think that's all that I had. I believe so. Yep. Chris, what's going on? Big up from Strong Island. You back from Fiji already? I'm about to start planning my Fiji trip. Shana says, can you also include the real estate link in the community page if you haven't already? I will. Thank you for that. I will do that. Chinese Davidson says, many great thanks to Throp. I'm not hearing any of our concerns. Why? Not sure what you're talking about. Inga Baby, happy Easter, Throp and Throppers. Sweet Feather says, are you and your family planning a mass carnival? No. I have to say, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm not the biggest soca fan. I'll put it out there. I just am not. And everybody keeps telling like my friends, especially my Trini friends, like they're like, you gotta go, you gotta come to Trinidad, you gotta go to the real carnival. And one day I will. One day I will. I'm gonna check it out, I promise. But definitely not my thing. Not my thing. I've tried. I've tried. Okay. Okay. I think we're going to leave it there. This is Claire Tree, you skipped my last chat. I offered $5.99. Hold on. I see thanks for Water Expo, $5.99 to you. Did I contribute right? Please advise. No, not I'm not seeing that. I really don't know how to do a donation, I should say, sadly. Um I don't know how, but you can. There's a way that you can do a super chat and donate. Thank you. I don't know how to do it. If somebody can explain how to do it. Sweet Feather says Jamaica's Carnival. I know it's like it's this week, I believe, this week or next week, Jamaica Carnival, but I've never done any carnival at all. I wouldn't mind. I'm open to it, but it's not something that I'm like, I gotta go to carnival. I gotta do this. I gotta go jump and wave. Nah, not my not my thing. I will experience it because I'm open to new experiences, but not something that I'm super motivated to do. Sherry K says, I'm with you on the on the no to carnival. Yeah. Good. I'm glad I'm not alone here. Okay, Shanna's putting out this. Says, Shara, do a super chat. Look for the money sign near the comment section. There you go. All right, this was a great live stream. Oh, here you go, Shanice. Shanice says, many great things for Throp. Is there any churches in the grill? Family volunteers happy. Yeah, we got tons of churches in the grill. I've mentioned Mary Gate of Heaven Church, with a Catholic church, which I go to. There are Seventh-day Adventist Church. It's got to be like 20 something churches in the grill. I think there's so many churches. So we don't lack in churches here. But few upcoming announcements. Check out the video that we launched, that we premiered today with Mally Dixon from Negril and the Negril Green Island Pounding Authority. And then also we got the live stream on Thursday. I'm going to drop another Throp-X video this weekend coming up. And then I might drop another interview. I forget who it was, but I connected with Bless Up Jess. We did a collaboration. So I'm going to be on her channel. And then also I did an interview with her as well on my channel. So that is coming out soon. I think I'm going to release that this week. I just got to plan my schedule out, my editing schedule out a little bit. But we got some great content coming up. And I think that's about it. We're going to leave it there. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this Sunday. A lot of content we had in the last week. This was pretty awesome. And I will see you on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday will be the next live stream. Then again on Sunday. Wishing everyone a great week. I'm going to leave you with the view of this beautiful 7 Mile Beach here. And I will see you in a few days. Have a great one, everybody. Peace.